Welcome back to Geeks Wargaming and welcome to our latest bolt action battle report. Today, the German forces take on a joint allied force. Hi guys, welcome back to Geeks Wargaming and welcome to our latest bolt action battle report. And today the British Airborne are taking to the battlefield for the very first time. And now we're going to be facing off against
the Germans,
obviously. However, there is not enough British Airborne painted up at the moment to field an entire force. So we've come up with a custom scenario to allow the Americans to come on as reinforcements to try and help out the British.
Yeah, so what we've decided is that the Germans will start on the board, the British will start on the board. The British are going to be sort of hunkered down in some buildings, which means that they might be deployed slightly out of their deployment zone, and the Americans will come on from turn two to sort of represent a bit of a time delay in them actually getting the orders through to go and reinforce the British.
Typical.
But also, because the Germans' force is slightly stronger on the table, we've decided to compensate for that by adding an extra tank, a regular tank, into the American force as reinforcement. So there's going to be 2 tanks versus 1, but the German tank is a Panther, so arguably it's a bit stronger. So we'll just see how it balances out. But we think we've got it pretty balanced.
I think we have.
I think there's about 300 points difference between the two forces.
And victory conditions for this mission as well. So there are going to be 4 British Airborne squads onto the battlefield, and this is going to be a 5-turn game. If there is 1 squad of British Airborne left, or none, the Germans win.
Yes.
If there are half the amount of British Airborne, so 2 for those counting, it is a draw. If there are 3 or more, it is a win for the Allies. So that's how we're doing it.
Yeah.
So 3 or more, win for the Allies, 2, draw, 1, Germans. Basically, that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
The battlefield today, I've got to say, is looking phenomenally beautiful. So this, all the scenery we're using today is from Foreground. It looks amazing. Massive thank you to them as well for supplying the scenery for our bolt action games.
Cheers, guys.
It is absolutely brilliant. So since the last time we did a bolt action game, we've added another set of the ruined terrorist buildings across here. We've added the Grand Hotel, which I did a build video for as well. We've also added little tiny features. So we've now got telegraph poles across here, and we've got some of the inner scenery for the church. So we've got the font, the pulpit, the lectern, we've got the pews, we've got everything that you could possibly want to kit a church out with.
It just looks really cool.
It does look pretty damn good, actually, I've got to say. So yeah, really massive thank you to them for helping us out with the scenery for our bolt action battlefields. I think this looks amazing. We're still we're still trying to be the best looking battlefields on YouTube for bolt action, and Foreground are helping us out, and so far I'm quite happy with this. Really am. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Mission complete.
Mission complete. Also, since the last time that we did a video for bolt action, we have become affiliates with Warlord Games. So if you are going to go to Warlord Games website and you're going to make a purchase, if you use the link in the description below, we will get a very small percentage of your purchase back, which means you are helping out, supporting the channel while buying what you were going to buy anyway. You might as well just click that link and allow us to build better battlefields and get more armies onto the channel and just basically support us. So if you like what we do with the bolt action and you want to support us, click that link. Use the affiliate link.
Also,
there's an also.
Also, a lot of you that watch our videos aren't actually subscribed.
Yes.
Naughty people. So if you want to help us out even more, if you could click the subscribe button, that'd be great.
Yeah. So we do a lot of different games here at Geeks Wargaming, and bolt action is definitely one of the ones that we love playing. It is an amazing game. We just love the mechanics of it and how it works with the scenery, and the battlefields we do here are looking quite nice. So yes, please click that subscribe button, and we've said this in other videos, otherwise Robin will take his top off. on one of the battle reports, and nobody wants to see that. Literally nobody.
I
on
feel
this
like we
planet.
need a threshold of how many subscribers before I take my top off.
No, hell no.
Oh, right, okay.
So literally, we could get 1 subscriber, and that's 9 off.
Yeah, or 2, and it is.
No.
Oh no.
I reckon we need to get to at least 500,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Otherwise, you are going to have to take your top off.
Wow.
Set that bar high.
Wow. Better share it with your friends. I know I will be.
You're going to be creating accounts and just subscribing to the channel. Yeah, please subscribe to the channel. It is a massive, great big help to us when you do that. Don't forget the affiliate link below. But should we go take a look at the armies?
My German force for today is headed up by an Oberleutnant with a man. Yes, I probably pronounced that incorrectly, but I always do. It's quite an elite force. We have 2 squads of Waffen SS. That's another one which I've probably pronounced incorrectly. Comments down below as usual. And everything that you see in this force is completely WYSIWYG. So what you see is what you get. So there are assault rifles on the NCO there at the front. There is a Panzerfaust in that squad. There's 2 LMGs and then a couple of rifles, and the rest are assault rifles. This squad is more a squad which I'm planning on pushing more at the table. So these have got your assault rifles, and there's a couple of SMGs. There is a Panzerfaust in there as well, and then there is just the 1 LMG in that squad. We then have a flamethrower team, a motorbike with an MMG, and then we have the Panther. First time of using the Panther, so hopefully this is going to do quite a bit of damage. For this mission, we're not really sort of focusing on the points. We've got them roughly the same. I think there's maybe sort of a couple of 100 points difference between. But as we mentioned before, it's a specialist campaign, so that's why we've done that. But if you are interested, I think this comes to about 1,100 points roughly. Everything you see in this force is veteran.
This is the British part of my force today. They are being led by a first lieutenant, basically with an SMG machine gun. And then I've got 2 squads of paratroopers. So the first squad here, there is a Bren gun in here, and there are 2 submachine guns. And then there was also an NCO with a submachine gun, exactly the same loadout for the second squad. And then we're also taking a Piat team trying to deal with that pesky tank. All of this part of the force are veterans. And then over to the Americans. They are being led by First Lieutenant Richard McPherson. And he is leading a 6-man Ranger squad. In here, submachine guns and assault rifles. There is also a US Airborne squad. In here, there is a Bren gun, submachine guns and assault rifles. And then over to the tanks. 2 Shermans. We have the EZ-8. And then we also have the other Sherman as well. And the EZ-8 is a veteran and the other one is a regular. So they are the reinforcements coming on today to help out the British. The forces are deployed, and this sleepy French village is about to be awoken by the oncoming German infantry ready to push out the British that are hunkered down. So first off for the Germans, we have their bike ready to swing around the corner of the battlefield. We have the Waffen SS and the Flamer squad hunkered down behind the cafe. We then have the Panther tank looking up the empty streets. Next we have another squad of Waffen SS ready to get their way through the buildings. Then we have the Oberleutnant at the back here ready to give out his orders across the battlefield as we swing round to the British. Lots of debris out across this battlefield. Just go round. The British here, the British Airborne now hunkered down behind the ruined terraced buildings, ready to try and repel the oncoming Germans. Next, inside the ruined building here, we have the Piat team, ready to try and get some shots in on that Panther tank. Inside the Grand Hotel, the first lieutenant, and then on the ground floor, we have the second of the British Airborne squads. The Americans will be making their way onto the battlefield shortly. But let's head over to turn 1. First dice out of the bag was a German dice, and Robin moved his Flamer squad up and onto the hedgerows. Next dice out was a British Airborne. Now what I've done is I've run my Piat team up. It's only a 12-inch weapon, so I need to be as close as I can to that tank. So I'm there to get some cover. Next dice out was a German dice, and Robin has moved his motorbike up and he's put it on advanced. He's going to shoot at the Piat team. So at the end of the shooting, Robin managed to get 1 hit but no wounds, so we have 1 pin marker down on the Piat team. The British Airborne squad have come out of the hotel. They put some shots down at the flamethrower squad, no damage done. Robin then moved his Waffen SS inside the building. He then shot down at the British Airborne that had come out. I lost 1 guy, and so we've got a pin marker on them. The British lieutenant moved onto the ground floor inside the hotel, fully aware of the damage that a tank can do while shooting a building, so he's looking at exiting that quite quickly. The British Airborne entered the ground floor of one of the ruined terraced houses down there, put the shots into the Flamer squad, no damage done at all. And then the Waffen SS have gone into the ground floor of one of these buildings, that one, this one just here, and then shot down at the Piat team, no damage done, but
Despite
Robin got
a ruckload of hits.
Ruckload of hits, no damage done. So we have an extra pin marker down on the Piat squad. The Oberleutnant moved into the end terrace building. They pointed their assault rifles out the windows and they sprayed the Piat team, killing 1 of them off. So I've taken another pin, but I did pass my morale. The last dice out of the bag was the Panther tank. Robin moved it up. He fired his shell and the machine gun at the squad inside the building. The shell missed. Just don't know how. The machine gun hit, peppered the walls, no damage done to the British Airborne. So at the end of turn 1, I've lost 1 guy from the 1 British Airborne squad, and I've lost the 1 Piat team member. But that is it for turn 1.
Yeah,
now we
weathered the storm quite well there.
We did weather the storm quite well. So we're heading over to turn 2. Started turn 2, and the first dice out of the bag was an Allied, so I've put it onto the Easy 8. It's on the battlefield. It's on. I've advanced it. I shot down the shell at the Panther. Bounced, absolutely bounced off the front armour of that. So that's great. But I did put the machine guns down into the Flamer squad, killing 1 of them off, putting a pin marker on that unit there. To counter the threat of the Sherman, Robin has put the next dice down onto the Panther tank. He shot down at the Sherman. He hit. He penetrated. He did a big, massive damage. It has gone. Well, it was on fire. I failed the morale. It's pretty dead. The poor crew inside are a little toasty warm. Next dice out of the bag was a British dice. I put an advance down onto the Piat team. Had to move him slightly to get the shot and missed. Just missed. Managed to pass my morale though, so that's 1 less on the pin marker over there. Next dice out of the bag was a German dice, and Robin moved his motorbike round, shot down at the British Airborne. 1 more casualty down there. Piat team have been wiped out. Robin put the order dice down on the Oberleutnant inside the building, who shot out of the window, causing the Piat team to be wiped out, unfortunately.
2 assault rifles is quite deadly at that range.
2 assault rifles, yeah, that range. Yeah, I'd agree with that. 2 assault rifles, point blank range. Dead. The British Airborne put a fire command dice down, went to shoot the bike, I failed my morale. So they went down, and then in the opening, while those British Airborne were scared witless, the flamethrower guy had the run dice put down and is now at the steps of the Grand Hotel, fully aware that my HQ choice is well in that building. The British Airborne lieutenant has moved out of the building round the side, shot his SMG at the cheeky little flamer squad, no damage done. US Rangers are on, they shot at the same target, all missed. British Airborne that was inside that building, I need these guys to survive and the HQ unit to survive, really. So they're out of the building and I've issued a run move on them. I want them back in this corner, maybe up in the church, maybe, just get some cover. But the Americans are on the board, obviously we've lost the 1 Sherman and the Panzer tank is still a threat. The Waffen SS have stepped out of the building, shot down into the British Airborne, killing another 2 off. That's another pin marker on those British Airborne. Really wish I hadn't failed their morale. But then the next dice out was an Allied dice, and I brought the Sherman on. Shot down at Panther. Managed to hit it, and I've done a crew stunned damage result on it, so he's got 2 pins on him. American Airborne are on the battlefield. I brought them on to the side of the Grand Hotel, trying to get some covering fire down for the British Airborne. So shot at the bike, managed to hit it, no damage, but obviously a pin marker down. First Lieutenant Richard McPherson is now on the battlefield. He's out of range of the flamer guy inside the building, but he's at least on the battlefield, giving some buffs out to my troops. So last action this turn is the Waffen that are inside this building have run out, chasing down those British Airborne that are making their way to the back of the battlefield. So at the end of turn 2, another bloody turn, casualties all over the place, mainly to the British, if I'm honest with you. So we've got a couple of dice down in that British Airborne squad. We've obviously lost the Piat team. We obviously lost our Easy 8 on the back of the battlefield there. They were very light armoured tanks. Doesn't really surprise me that the Panther managed to destroy it in one shot. Very historically accurate. But anyway, so let's head over to turn 3. First dice out of the bag for turn 3 was an allied dice, and I put it onto the Sherman. I shot the shell at the Panther, hit it, didn't penetrate the armour, but it's another pin marker onto that guy. The machine gun at the front shot down at the Waffen down there, managed to kill one guy off. Next dice out of the bag was a German. Robin put it onto the Panther, failed his morale, rolled a 10.
Boo.
Perfect, so that tank now no actions whatsoever. Robin, next dice out of the bag is it's an allied. Woohoo! The allied dice was put on the British Airborne down here, but I failed morale, so they went down. The next dice was a German. It was put onto the motorbike. That shot down at the American Airborne down here.
Nice long range shots.
Nice long range shots. 2 dead, so a pin marker onto those guys. The next dice out of the bag was a German dice, and Robbie put it on the flamethrower. He moved him from up in the doorway down to here. He flamed across at the HQ choice for the British Airborne.
Only rolled a 1.
He only rolled a 1, so he didn't die. He was all good. But he
hit him, obviously, because you automatically hit.
Yeah,
but,
2 pins put on him.
Yeah.
Then there was a allied dice out. So the US Rangers jumped across the wall, basically surrounded him and shot him in the face.
Executed.
And then he died. The allied dice that came out the bag next was put down onto the US Airborne. They shot down at the bike, managed to hit, no damage. So another pin marker. And then over here, the Waffen stepped around the side of the building and shot down at the British Airborne down here, killing off 4 guys.
Nobody runs from us.
Nobody runs from the Waffen, apparently. So yeah, lots of damage done down onto the British Airborne. Really unlucky with these British Airborne. I went to advance them into the cover and then shoot down at the Waffen. Unfortunately, I failed my morale.
Again.
So they're down. I'm doing really well on my fails and morale. The Waffen was the next dice out of the bag. They shot down at the Rangers, and literally the Rangers just got shredded.
I got really lucky there.
You did get really lucky. You got lots of 6s, didn't you? So basically 6 wounds, 6 guys, they're all dead. So next couple of dice out of the bag, I rallied my HQ choice. So he's managed to remove all of his pins. Richard McPherson ran across to help out the other HQ choice.
By patting out his flames.
He did pat out his flames in a heroic style.
Heroic style. Typical Richard McPherson.
Yeah.
Selfless.
Selfless Richard McPherson. And then the final German dice was put on the Oberleutnant.
Oberleutnant.
On the Oberleutnant. And yeah, they ran. So they ran out of that building across to the other one. So the end of turn 3. Lots of damage done. British Airborne getting whittled down. But I've got 2 turns. I'm going into turn 4. 5-turn game. I need the British to be alive. Yeah. I think it's on a knife edge. First 2 dice out of the bag. The first one was put down onto the Panther. Robin shot at the Sherman. Missed completely. The machine gun shots went down at the British Airborne HQ choice. No hits. Sherman was the next dice out of the bag. So, well, allied dice was the next one out of the bag, and it was put down onto the Sherman. Shell shot at the Panther. Missed. He's literally a whiff fest over here. But the machine gun at the front shot down at the Waffen, managed to kill 1 off. The next 2 dice out of the bag was both allied. I've moved the American Airborne up. They shot down at the bike, managed to hit it, and it is now immobilised. So happy days. Then the next one out, I tried to put down onto the British Airborne, put it onto an advanced, just trying to rally them and get them to move in, but failed. So they're stuck there. Next dice out of the bag was an allied, so I put it onto Richard McPherson. He basically just moved around the corner. And then the next one was a German dice, and the Waffen moved from here, basically within point blank range of the British Airborne.
Yeah.
Shot the paratroopers and killed 2.
I was hoping with my Panzerfaust I was going to shoot across
Yeah.
at the Sherman, but I was about an inch shy.
Story of your life, being an inch too short. So anyway, 2 killed from the British Airborne. Robin rolled a 6 and then rolled a 6, so he got to pick the casualty, pick the NCO. Oh dear. The Waffen SS was pulled out of the bag, shot down at the British Airborne, managed to hit, but Robin then completely and utterly whiffed, so there was no damage done, but they're minus 59 million at the moment, so that's not helpful. Run command put onto the British Airborne HQ, so he's come around here to join onto the back of the Americans. And then finally, the Oberleutnant had a run command put on, and now he is at this side of the building, basically trying to chasing down the British Airborne. So at the end of turn 4, quite tight at the moment. 3 British Airborne squads left. We have the Pin to Hell paratroopers. We have the HQ choice being supported by the Americans down there. And then obviously we have the other British Airborne squad all the way down here. So Robin needs to wipe out 3 of them in the final turn of the battle
To win.
to win the game. So let's see how we get on as we enter into turn 5. The first dice out of the bag was an allied dice. I put it on the Sherman. The shell shot at the Panther, missed. Machine gun shot at the Waffen, missed. Then the next dice out was German. Robin shot down with the Waffen that basically put a fire command on and wiped out the British Airborne squad that was sitting in there. We have 2 squads left alive. Next dice out of the bag was British. Put it onto the Airborne, shot down at the Waffen, killing off 3 of them. Point blank range shots, absolutely amazing. Next dice out was the German. Quite important roll, and Robin failed it. Failed his morale. So they are down, so they can't do anything now. The next dice out of the bag was an allied dice, and I put it onto the American Airborne. They shot down at the bike. Everything pretty much missed or failed to wound, apart from the rifles. Rolled a 6, rolled another 6. The bike is dead. Next dice out of the bag was for the Oberleutnant, who basically advanced around, shot down at my HQ choice. Hit me, did not wound me, luckily. Richard McPherson then stepped round the building like an absolute badass, shot and did nothing. So, well done you. And so I've got 1 dice left in the bag. Robin has just pulled out the grey dice, which is going to be going onto the Panther. So the final German dice was put down onto the Panther. That came round, shot down at my HQ. I decided to go down to ground. Basically meant that Robin missed with the machine gun as well as the shell shot. So I am all okay there. So that is all of the dice done, because my last dice was put down on my HQ to go down. And with that, that is the end of the game. And there are 2 British Airborne units left. There's the 1 paratrooper squad down here. And then of course we have the HQ unit down here with the Americans. So with that, it is a draw. Let's head over to the post-game review. Hi guys, welcome to the post-game review. As you might notice, there's no Robin here for the post-game review, and that's because we're filming 2 games back to back, and we forgot to film the post-game review bit, so I'm going to do it now. What a great game of bolt action that was. I think a draw was a fair result in the end. I think the Germans did really, really well to try and push at the British Airborne that were on that field, and Robin did very well at targeting the correct units, trying to win the game. But he just couldn't wipe out the British Airborne. I like the fact that my British Airborne that were behind one of the buildings moved behind the bushes, getting out of range, trying to get out of the way of the Germans, and a really good, fun game to play, and quite cinematic in places as well, with the 2 Shermans, one coming on, firing, getting blown up, because they were wafer thin armour, and then the other Sherman coming in, having a go at the Panther, not being able to really do much damage to it. But what a great, fun game. I love bolt action. I love the mechanics of how it works. I think it's such a good, fun game to play. Please leave us a comment. What did you think below? British Airborne still being worked on, so there are more units to come for that, and we will be able to field an entire British Airborne just on their own as well. There is a 3rd squad of paratroopers done for the British Airborne, but they didn't take to the field in that game. But yeah, don't forget, in the description below there is our affiliate link, and if you're going to go and have a look at Warlord Games and buy some bolt action, if you click that link, you are helping support us. So if you like what we do, please click that link and show the love. But yes, thanks for watching, guys. Please leave us a like. It does help out the channel. Why not subscribe if you haven't done so already? Robin already said at the start of the video about how quite a few people who watch our videos aren't subscribed. Again, if you like what we do, click that subscribe button, click that bell icon so you always see a notification for when we upload a video. But thanks for watching, guys, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.